Hey, it's Erin. Today's video is going to be a quick one. I wanted to share the important lessons that I've learned from being injured for the last month, and hopefully these can help you as well. A lot of times when we're hurt and we're not able to train, we can focus on the physical aspects of things, but the mental battle that goes on is oftentimes much more difficult. And when it's you in there, you're fighting yourself, it can be counterproductive. So here are 5 things that I've learned so far that have helped me that hopefully will help you as well. Number 1, if you've built it once, you can build it back faster, easier, and better than you did before. This goes for your physique, but it also goes for a lot of things in life, like business. And if something is just torn down to the ground, don't worry about it. You're able to rebuild back much more quickly. In the case of muscles, we've got satellite cells, we've got muscle memory. So when you start training again, those muscles are just going to respond so quick, and you're going to rebuild those lost gains and probably make some new ones because you've allowed your body that time to rest and recover. Number 2, don't lament about limitations. Focus on what you can do, switch gears, change goals, and really focus on building what you can and working what you can. So for me, I'm looking at training upper body, I'm looking at rebuilding my shoulders, really getting that V taper back and working on core strength, flexibility, a lot of things that I hadn't really focused too much on before, but are now becoming a main priority of mine for the next couple of months. Injuries, they can show us our weak points. This is number 3. So when an injury occurs, a lot of times it happens at the weakest point in the body. And this can show us the holes in our training, it can show us the things we've been neglecting, and can show us things that we need to work on. In my case, for the Achilles, I hadn't worked so much on lateral training. I hadn't worked a lot on lower body mobility. And these are things that I'm going to really focus on when I get back to it. So I understand that those injuries that I've had in the past, same thing. I've been able to pinpoint why they happened and have then been able to adjust my training to incorporate things that are going to overall strengthen and bulletproof the body as best as possible. Number 4, we have this up and down. Some days are good, some days are bad. You've got this roller coaster going on, and there is massive discomfort that you're facing. And in this struggle, it's always you versus you. And recognize that if you were to have continued on the path that you were on, perhaps you were just comfortable enough to keep doing things the way that you were doing. In discomfort, growth occurs, period. So welcome the discomfort, as much pain as it is, as much as it is, yes, uncomfortable, there is growth there. And it's going to really force you to make changes and adjustments, see things differently, and reflect, and perhaps just do a 360 on a situation, whereas before you might have just plowed right through it. So welcome that discomfort, because it's going to ultimately mean growth. Number 5, enrich other areas of your life. So this is a good time to think about the things that you've been putting off. Think about those goals that haven't been center stage. For example, if you want to learn a new language or an instrument, or you want to get back into painting, whatever it might be, think about those things and come up with a list and start doing those things. You'll have a little bit more time. I know for me, I am picking up the fiddle again. I am really working on my Spanish, and thinking about writing another book. So, and I also write poetry, and I started writing poetry again, which feels pretty good because, a lot of these things are, I guess, not necessarily skills, but interests of mine that I keep hidden, and I want to cultivate them to have a more well-rounded life. Because as we all know, weightlifting is an amazing outlet. It's great stress relief, but if you don't have that for a period of time, you have to have other outlets to look into. And for me, I really didn't have it. You know, I was just a 24/7 meathead, training mostly like a bodybuilder. And thinking about it, I want to get back to being more well-rounded, more interesting, dare I say. But, you know, moving forward on the channel, we're going to go through some tips for PT. I'm going to really work on showing you how to even out asymmetries, because you'll actually have a visual guide, because my one leg is very stalliony right now and the other one's starting to look like a toothpick. So we'll be able to do some work on that. Also want to bring in body weight exercises, core strength, and a lot of these other training modalities that I think we're missing on the channel. And of course, if there's something that you want to see in particular, please let me know in the comments, because I'm in the process of restructuring things and turning a little bit more holistic, because obviously we can work on the shell, we can make our appearance look amazing, but if under the hood is not healthy or not functioning right, or you know, let's say you've got a beautiful shell, but you know, you don't have an engine or you don't have wheels. These are all things that we need to work on to make sure that our vehicle, our body, is going to carry us through for as long as we want it to or need it to. So that's what's been on my mind this week. What are y'all thinking? Let me know if you made it this far. I love you. I'm proud of you. Keep pushing. And if you're going through an injury, focus on that mindset. Create that kingdom inside of you, because you are the only person you have to live with for your entire life. And if you can't retreat to that kingdom of your mind and have a safe space, if you're constantly fighting yourself, you're going to be miserable. And I just tell you that with love and from personal experience. So that's it for today. Until next time, train smart, train hard, and if you can't train, think of other things you can do or other ways you can train around it. Y'all, thanks.